Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today I have some exciting news. The extra credit mod, everyone's favorite vanilla style content mod, now has some vanilla style decks. Vanilla. The Bazaar deck, this is my personal concoction. This is similar to the Zodiac deck, which of course is my favorite vanilla deck. The Zodiac deck starts with 3 vouchers. Bazaar deck starts with 3 different vouchers. Clearance sale makes things a little bit cheaper. Hone makes things a little bit more interesting. So kind of like the yellow deck, but instead of starting with extra money, you have extra purchasing power in the sense that if we make things cheaper, you can buy more stuff. Hone makes it more likely for you to find additions on your jokers, foil jokers, holographic jokers. This is going to feel a little bit like the ghost deck. So we know the ghost deck makes it technically possible for you to get spectral cards in the shop, but you don't always get that many spectral cards. You don't always get the spectral cards that you want. Part of that is the spectral cards are still somewhat rare. You add them to the shop, but they're still kind of rare. And so that's how Hone works. You get more foils and more holographic cards, but you don't necessarily get a lot of them. So not a huge boon here, but could randomly give you something interesting. And the last voucher is the magic trick. So I really wanted to create a deck that had the magic trick, and I think a lot of people think of the magic trick as, oh, this is actively bad for me. If there's playing cards in the shop, then that's taking up space. I'm getting less jokers, I'm getting less tarot cards, that sort of thing. But I think the magic trick can be useful sometimes, and maybe if you start with the magic trick, you can kind of not necessarily build around it, but you can kind of plan around it. And you could think of this as, okay, the clearance sale is like very strong, actively good. Hone is okay, randomly useful sometimes. And then the magic trick, that's the drawback. That's the price that you pay. The Zodiac deck has the Planet Merchant voucher, which maybe is not as desirable as the Tarot Merchant or Overstock on the Zodiac deck. I think also with the magic trick, if you do get like a few random, let's say, face cards in the deck in those early shops, you can pick them up and you can build around those cards. If you get some kind of suit joker in the early shops, you can pick up random cards that match that suit, and maybe that's randomly useful to you. The card back also, by the way, incredible design. It's supposed to be, you could probably tell this maybe, it's supposed to be like a carpet. The Bazaar deck, also a pun, it's Bazaar the deck. The Archaeology deck starts in anti-zero. So the drawback is you have -1 hand size, and then the payoff for that is you start in anti-zero. Anti-zero means you have 3 additional rounds of earning money and looking at shops and picking up jokers and scaling before you get to anti-1. And then the drawback for all of this extra time, extra buildup, is -1 hand size for the rest of the run. So it's kind of like the hieroglyph or the petroglyph vouchers. Hieroglyph, that's the one you go -1 ante, but then you have -1 hand for the rest of the run. And so this is like that, but it's -1 hand size. And you can still get those vouchers. You can still get the petroglyph. You can still get the hieroglyph on the Archaeology deck. Technically, you can go to ante -1. So from ante-0 go to ante-1, but functionally that doesn't really do anything. So ante-0 and ante-1, the scoring requirements are identical. If you go to ante-1, then you get a couple rounds and it goes back to ante-0 or whatever it is. But this -1 hand size, really, this is going to force you into playing lower ranking hands. It's going to force you in to playing pairs and high card, which is something which is already kind of a feature of the gold stake, is you're forced into pairs. But if you want to play these on white stake, you could also. You don't have to play gold stake on every deck. So, you know, thinking of this white stake situation, I think all of the other different white stake decks, there's none that really force you into the small hands. The Archaeology deck kind of forces that. And I think that's interesting to have a deck that does something that the other decks don't. And then the last deck is the Echo deck. Echo deck is very simple. Re-trigger all cards. And I do mean all cards in all zones. So this is all held in hand effect. Steel cards, gold cards, blue seals, all of those get re-triggered as if you had a mime. And then all of your cards that you play, all of those get re-triggered as if you had a seltzer. Seltzer re-triggers all your cards. So essentially, it's kind of like the black deck. Black deck gives you an extra joker slot. this gives you an extra seltzer for free, plus a mime for free. And sometimes your build is caring more about one or the other, but it does both. And so the drawback for that is you have bigger blind sizes. This, I'm going to say this is just a placeholder. This ×2 blind size, this is not going to stick. We're going to change this a little bit. One thing that's weird about the ×2 blind size is in the early game, the re-triggering giving you extra chips on your cards, that gives you about 50% more points, but not 2 times more points. And so until you get a Joker or some kind of usually tarot card enhancement effects that you're going to re-trigger in the early game, until you get those re-triggerable game pieces, then your score isn't actually better that much from the re-triggering. So what we want to do to change the Echo Deck, we want to make the blind size a little bit smaller in the early game, but then way bigger in the end game. So the end game feels a lot like maybe end game Plasma Deck, where if you have a lot of X multi-effects, and then now we can re-trigger those X multi-effects, glass cards and steel cards, well then maybe this ×2 in the end game is not enough. Or at least that was the experience that I had on the Echo Deck. But today, we're gonna do Gold Stake Bazaar Deck. We did lower stakes on stream. I'm gonna do Gold Stake today. All right, so there we go, 3 vouchers. Clearance sale, hone, and then also magic trick. In the first round, I guess we have a straight. That's it. Okay, Fibonacci cares about aces, 2s, 3s, 5s, 8s. That's pretty strong. And so probably we should do that. We get it for $6 instead of normally it's $8. Crystal Ball is 7 instead of 10. So because we have because we have the clearance sale, we have the discount on things. Arcana packs are only $3. Vouchers are only $7 instead of 10. That's a huge discount. But I'm going to take Fibonacci here. I don't need to look inside the Buffoon pack. Let's go next. How about 2 pair would be great. We could do a bunch of 4s. I could go for a flush would work. Yeah, flush with a 5 and an 8. So maybe, okay, if I want to do Fibonacci, okay, and maybe if I have the magic trick, I can try to find some Fibonacci cards. Shoot the Moon is not it. Priestess could go Buffoon pack. I think I go Buffoon pack. If I miss, any Joker that normally sells for $2 sells for $1. So we lose some money maybe. Take a riffraff, I guess. That's fine. Do I want the Priestess? I'm not 100% what hand I want to play yet, and I think if I have Fibonacci, I don't need planet cards yet. So let's go next. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So we are playing on the extra credit mod, and with the extra credit mod, there are some extra Jokers. My favorite, well, one of my favorites, Lucky 7. So if we have a hand that contains a 7, all the cards count as lucky. I could also play straights. I think Fibonacci straights with superposition are pretty fun. Ace through 5 straights. We get the molt on every card except for 4s. I did a lot of Lucky 7 on stream, and so I think I'm going to do even more Lucky 7 right now. Let's go try to find a 7. So I think the way I like to play the Lucky 7, at least in the early game, is go for the middle straight. Maybe try this, maybe try to draw a 5. Maybe we don't do the Lucky 7 and we actually just try to get a 5. The reason why I want to get the Lucky 7, or like the draw the 7s, is because you have a chance of getting money. Let's just try to go for a 5 here. I get the ace, but I'm still looking for the 5. I could also go for a clubs flush. Now that I got the 7, I could try to draw the 5 this way. With the ace and the foil, That might be enough points already. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to pay the money for the riffraff. Okay. I think I will pay for the riffraff. I think I won't do superposition. I guess I don't need to sell it right away. I'm gonna keep the 7 because it's foil. It's pretty good early on. Okay. Yeah. Could get the glow up. You know what? It cost me money, it cost me interest. Let's get the glow up. And then get some rips off the riffraff. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we got the foil. Maybe influenced by hone. Higher chance of foils. Let's find out. Okay. So here's a... I think that's enough riffraff for me. I think I don't want to pay for it anymore. But here we got plushie. This is kind of like abstract joker, but it's chips instead. So plus chips for each joker. Simple. Let's try that middle straight again. Okay, so I got the 7. Now I'm just looking for a 9. Okay. Chip it. And then they're all lucky. So we get the 20 bucks. Can you believe it? When I was streaming, they were saying I was addicted to the lucky 7, that it was problematic, my attachment to the lucky 7. Can you believe that? I think I want to take a free reroll here. We can open the buffoon pack first. Passport. We can try to get a seal on some stuff, maybe. Probably I don't need Jimbo. Take a free reroll here. Fist. No. I have a ton of money now. Let's go standard pack. I'm looking for 7s, and I can always turn 7s into 8s. That sounds like a good time. Could take a foil 3, could take a 5. I think I'm gonna pass. I think I just want 8s and 7s. That's gonna be the move. Alright, so I have a 7. Let's try to get the middle straight again. Okay, so the way the passport works is when you discard one card, you put a random seal on that one card. Maybe what I end up doing is putting a seal on... Well, if I only discard one card, that could be kind of dangerous. Maybe I put a seal on a 2. Blue seal, okay, maybe. Do I want to go for the flush? Do I want to go for the straight? So the straight is just an 8 I would have to draw. I could also get the flush. Let's try the flush. I think is a little bit easier. 3 6s probably wins, but I'm going to keep going for the flush so I could do the lucky 7. Alright, we could play this flush. How about that? Money again? Don't mind if I didgeridoo. Alright, the passport is once per ante, so I can't do it on the boss, and that's fine. Bosses play only one hand anyway. Okay, we can hang them. We can go Arcana. Do I want the order? Maybe not as a perishable. Maybe passport is just bad on gold stake. Maybe it's just too dangerous. I could go Grimbo. Grimbo is probably good with foil. I kind of like hallucination for extra tarot cards. Maybe. Yellow card got buffed. Now we get $5 when we skip a booster pack. Do I want a yellow card? I think I'm gonna go hallucination here instead of the passport. Okay, in that case, we open the Arcana pack now. Okay, I can use the Fool to copy the Hung Man. I think we are trying to build middle straights. Or I don't know. Either way, I'm getting rid of the face cards. Let's just do that. Start with the face cards. And then use the Fool. Okay, we have a little money. We can do some re-rolling. Could take a 4, but it's not Fibonacci compatible. Could take extra interest. No, that's worse than what I already have. We could take a brainstorm. Could take a mime. Maybe if I already have 2 chips jokers, maybe I don't need this plushie that bad. Okay. Maybe I want a red card. Red card is probably the safe thing to do. But I kind of want to do Fibonacci just for funsies. So let's go next. Alright, I have a diamonds flush. I can remove the 2 10s and I can play the diamonds. Alright, so if you copy the 7 with the brainstorm, it doesn't do anything. It's incompatible. The way lucky 7 works is either the cards are lucky or they aren't. They can't be double lucky. But I can copy Fibonacci here. Let's go ahead and play the flush. I could discard and try to find my blue seal. I guess that's possible. And then ship it. I think with hallucination, I can make flushes viable. Okay. Fist. No. Man, we got so many foils because of the glow up. I guess we can reroll. I'll take a Chad to re-trigger my lucky cards, but it's a rental. Oh, I could do this. Okay, so the way this interaction works, so Werewolf says when you play enhanced cards, your enhanced cards become wild cards. If I use lucky 7s and my cards count as lucky, they count as enhanced, then it turns them all wild. So you play a hand, they become wild. Play another hand, they become wild. It's very similar to Pareidolia and Midas Mask, but instead of turning all your cards gold, you turn all your cards wild, and then we can spam flushes that way. There is some concern if I make all wild cards, you know, if there's going to be a boss that debuffs my suits, could happen. There's only 4 bosses that do that, but it could still happen. This boss says play 5 cards. If the werewolf wasn't eternal, I would take it. Even as a rental, if it wasn't eternal, I would take it. But because it's eternal, because I know I can't sell it, I think I can't take that. I think I'm going to pass on the rental Chad. I do want seed money. I can buy it for just $7. That's kind of nice. I want to open the booster packs because of the hallucination. I can copy it with the brainstorm. So even though we might lose a little bit of interest here, I think it's worth it for the tarot cards. Fool I can use to copy Jupiter. I can hold on to the Fool. I think I want to use it just to make room. So maybe Jupiter's okay. And I could choose either Saturn or Earth. I think for now it's looking like Saturn, though it could turn into Earth later. Maybe Uranus is good too, maybe 2 pair with Fibonacci. Standard pack, I could decide to sell the Hierophant or not. This is not guaranteed tarot card, so I think I'm going to keep the Hierophant. I think that's useful to me. World. Do we want to try to make spades? Spade flushes? I could take a Red Seal 5 as a foil. Is pretty good with Fibonacci. Maybe we do 5s and we do those middle straights. The 5 of diamonds. I already have a Blue Seal diamond. Let's do that. Sounds like fun. In that case, maybe I don't do the world, or maybe I turn clubs into spades. Let's find out. Alright, so here I'm looking for find the 7 first. I guess I don't need to find the 7, I just want to find the 7. I could just play spades. Okay. I have a pair of aces. I think just to be safe, let's turn the clubs into spades. I can use the Hierophant on the 8 and the 5. And let's just run it like that. Alright. Negative credit card. I don't see myself using that, but that it gives me a little bit of temperance value. One of the consequences of having the clearance sale is it gives you minus between 5 and 10 to your temperances, which is pretty stinky. I probably don't need a Hierophant, so I'm not going to spend money on it. I do probably open the Buffoon pack. Temperance only 11 bucks. Since my free reroll is going out of style, I could replace it with a Golden Joker. Maybe. So let's go Temperance, yes. Maybe World, maybe Spades. Maybe I turn my 5 of Diamonds into Spades. Okay, maybe Golden Joker for now. Do I want a Mega Standard pack as well? Okay, so I could take a 2, I could take a 3 as some enhanced cards. I could take a Gold Seal 4. Gold Seal, and then we do the Spade flushes. Spade flushes, maybe the 3 is wild. Maybe we take the 3, or sorry, the 2 is wild. Maybe we take the 2. Yeah. Go next. See, it's, you know, it's you get the cards, but then also you get the fancy cards. We get the foil cards. I got the 7 of Spades. That's kind of huge, actually. I want to convert my 8s and my 5 into Spades. Actually, what I really want to do is convert my 7s into Spades. But 8s, that's fine. Okay, so I could play this Red Seal 5. This actually gives me a lot of points, but then I potentially lose money. So Saturn's okay. Uranus is probably not what I'm trying to do this time. I could try to draw one more Spade. Here we go. Chip it. Ah, didn't get the money that time. Got the gold card anyway. Alright, so we're up to 46 bucks here. I do want the seed money. Do I want these booster packs? I want the hallucination value. Could go Priestess for Jupiter. I think now maybe Saturn I don't care about, so we can skip the rest. You know, it's been 8 rounds. I have not seen any playing cards in the shop at all. Oh, I should have made room. Oh, well, we got a death card now. Neptune's okay, I guess. Let's go next. Alright, so with death, I probably want to copy this 5. So maybe copying a 7 of Spades is useful. Alright, I could turn a Jack into this 5. If I play this leveled up flush, does it win now? Barely, and that's okay. Okay. Could take Telescope for my flushes. Sounds like a great... I guess I don't have to take it right now. I don't want a 4 of Diamonds, but maybe random Spades I'd be willing to take. I can use Strength. So I can turn 4s into 5s. I can save my Strength and turn 6s into 7s. I think the 5s, I'll go ahead and just do it right now because I want to leave room for hallucination. I can use the World on the 5, the 3, and the 2. I don't need to make lucky cards because I got lucky 7. Alright, Fool for the World is good. I could also strength the 6s and the 7s. I think I'm going to take the World and then use it to turn 7s into Spades. Let's just make flushes. Okay. So I should be able to play a flush without winning. Maybe. Okay, I can turn an ace, a 7, and a 10 into Spades. And then I can play this flush. And it might not win. Actually, I have all Fibonacci cards. Yeah, that wins. That's okay. Alright, 63 bucks. No on the trio. Maybe Golden Joker could get replaced with a satellite. That's not unreasonable. Sure. Priestess? Alright, so I want to do Jupiter. I can level up my pairs and my full houses for the satellite. Take Jupiter. Okay. I want to save money for seed money. I have strength now, so I can turn my 4 into a 5. I can save it for 6s. I think I'm going to save my strength, and I don't really care about the tower here. Let's spin the wheel. I could make glass cards. Maybe glass cards are powerful and useful, especially if we are playing flushes. And so maybe I go glass 3 rather than an 8. Okay, I can discard the purple. I'm looking for a 6 or a 7 here. Power I don't need. I do have a 6, but that's not the 6 that I wanted. I can use strength on a 6 and a king. I can play this flush, which maybe wins. I'm not. Yeah, it wins. I should have discarded. Okay. Alright, so Celestial Packs we can reroll first. Bad Apple gives us chips. This says chance to destroy itself at the end of the round. Destroy itself or destroy an adjacent joker. It's like the banana, but instead of destroying itself all the time, it sometimes destroys an adjacent joker. 125 chips is insane for a common. I don't think I want the apple, but I could take it. Since I have all these Eternals, maybe that's pretty sweet. I don't think I need the chips though, because I have the telescope. Kind of insane. No on the idol, probably. Uranus, I could pick up for the satellite. Cloud 9. Nope, satellite's giving me $6 already. We got a Hierophant. I'm going to sell the Hierophant to make room for the hallucination. And I should have checked what the boss was. Decrease level. That's admittedly kind of stinky. Let's do no more rerolls because we have rental. Sorry. Excuse me. We got a rental. I could go for hearts. I could go for... This for sure wins. Maybe I try to draw a gold card here. Maybe. Maybe I try to draw a 7. Not that 7. Maybe I play a full house. No, probably not. Alright, I could play a flush house. It won't get de-leveled. You know, with hallucination, probably flush houses, that's possible. Let's do it. Sounds like fun. At the very least, it sounds like fun. Alright, so we're gonna flush the house. Hey, look, another foil. 2 Arcana packs. We can reroll. Forklift gives me extra consumable slots. I mean, that's pretty fun with the hallucination. We'll take a rocket instead of a satellite, but I think the satellite's better right now, currently. Yeah, I don't know. Forklift? Maybe not. So let's go one more. Hierophant. I don't need Smear Joker. Boss's face down cards. Okay, take the Hermit for the money. We can try re-rolling again. Series is okay. Hey, look, a purple Joker. It gets bigger when we have unused hands and discards. I think that's not going to be for our flush build. We're going to be using our discards. Oh, sorry about the deck view, by the way. I should do this. The Cartomancer mod I want on some of the times, but maybe not on all of the times. Now the deck is easier to view. Okay, so we got a bunch of these 5s of spades, 6 5s of spades, 4 of the 8s of spades. Go one more. Pool for series or strength. I think if you play the flush house wins. So maybe strength is better. Maybe I don't need the strength. So if I am going to do flush houses, I think this is going to be the move. I think it's going to be 8s and 5. Okay. And I can turn 6s into 7s. Take the strength here. Gold card. Make a blue gold card. Okay, I can turn 6 into 7. And I could turn a 2 into a 3 and then work our way up towards an 8. I can use a Fool to copy the strength and turn the 7 into an 8. I could use Death to copy the blue seal. I could use World first and then copy the blue seal. That seems like the most productive line. Maybe turn a 10 into a 2. I could have used Death and then used the Fool to copy Death. Maybe that would have been even better. I don't know. Go next. Okay, so I got the 7. I could go ahead and play the flush. Get the money. Okay, and then discard to find another flush. Doesn't have to be a flush house, just a flush. Let's go play high card. Play a pair. Okay, I could do aces, 3s, and gold seal. Okay. What am I replacing this satellite with? Currently, satellite $7 is better than if we had a rocket. Could take Joker of the Year. Re-trigger all cards if you play 5 cards. If you score 5 cards. Powerful, sure. Maybe I do that instead of the satellite. I can re-trigger my gold seals. I could take a glass 7. If it's glass, I'm interested. Hierophant again. Keep getting Hierophant. Alright, so I could copy Fibonacci. I could copy the re-trigger Joker. Go one more. Certificate. No. Forklift again instead of Lucky 7. No. Could take an 8 of spades. Alright. That's the first card. The magic trick is useful. And part of that is not because of the cards being not useful. Part of that is just, this is the first time I'm seeing a card. Actually, there was a 4 of diamonds or something like that. I think this is the 3rd or 4th card that we saw in the shop. And I think if you're on flushes, if you're on the telescope, maybe you could just take random spades. Do I want an 8 of spades? Sure, why not? Fortune Teller is plus 24. I don't think we need it. Let's go next. Alright, so let's try to find spades. Okay, I can do the flush with the 7. Plus 20, because the lucky card's another plus 20. A lot of plus 20s. Alright. Enhanced cards can't be debuffed. Tempting. Tempting. I don't think I need to worry about that. Star, nope. Alright, Arcana pack. I can make more spades. I could make a steel card. I want to turn the 7 into spades. I could do the 7 and 5. That's great. I could do an ace also. Great. Hierophant, maybe. Onyx agate, no. 6 cents, no. There's a 6. Okay. Farmer changes suits every round. We get money from cards held in hand. We could get the Hall, the Monty Hall. I don't want to give up the lucky 7, so let's just go next. Oh, I should have gone back in time. Okay, so 7 and 5, I can make bonus cards. I can discard the purple seal. World. Okay. I think the world I'm going to hold on to still. I could play the flush house. What's under here? This could be a 7, could be a 6, probably a 5. Probably it's a gold card actually. Probably I keep it. Alright, it's maybe a 5 if it's less than a 6. Anyway, retrigger. Money. We got 20 bucks, we got 60 bucks. Don't mind if I did your dig. I want a crystal ball. Extra hand. Alright. 3 more rounds, Joker of the Year. We don't need the mime. Boss gonna debuff my spades. That's kind of rude. We'll take a glass ace of clubs. I think at this point, I just want my flush houses. Okay, Emperor. So 6, 4, and 3 I can turn into spades. I can use the Emperor. Empress and World. Okay. Foiled again. Okay, Jupiter is useful. I can check the skip tags. Ambrosia gives you spectral cards when you skip, but maybe I don't want to skip. Do I want a 5 of spades? It's a 5, sure. Look at that. We've picked up an 8 of spades and a 5 of spades because of our magic trick. Look at that. Swashbuckler, nope. Gold card, maybe not. I mean, I could replace the Empress, maybe. Maybe the Empress doesn't matter so much. No on Uranus. Go next. How do I beat this boss? Maybe I gotta play diamonds or something like that. So I can make a gold 4. I can play this flush, which maybe doesn't win. I guess it depends how many plus 20s we get. Okay, I'm gonna discard the glass. I'm gonna keep the 7. Okay. King 7, 4. Now spades. Alright, ship it. More lucky money. Okay. Strength is okay. Let's open the booster packs first because of hallucination. I don't need the magician. I usually want the world. I might not need the world anymore now that we have enough spades. I just have the 1/7 that's not spades yet. We get a Hermit. We get a Polychrome 6. We get a fancy 10. I think I'd take a fancy 10. It's not bad. Obelisk, no. Judgment, no. Earth, no. Do I want Invisible instead of the retriggering Joker or instead of the Lucky Sevens? I'll take a Luchador. Alright, the Joker of the Year is perishable anyway. Go next. Okay. I can use Strength on a 7 and a 6. If I play the Flush House with the Glass card, does that win? It might. Let's throw out the Flush, which we know doesn't win. Okay. I could run out the Flush. I could run out the Flush House. I'm going to do the Flush House. We don't get the lucky card, but we do get the blue seal. Level 4 Flush is equal to like a level 17. Sorry, level 4 Flush House is about like a level 15 Flush. Okay. Hologram. I mean, if you're gonna do magic trick, you could do hologram. I would have to give up my lucky 7. Is that gonna make it harder for me to play my hands? Of course, sure. I guess we did the lucky 7. I mean, at the end of the day, lucky 7 is just a common Joker. Turning your cards into lucky, that's kind of the same as turning your cards into molt cards, right? Empress makes 2 plus 4 cards, and then Magician makes 2 lucky cards. So lucky 7 is kind of like even Steven. Kinda like a business card, kinda. Anyway, pick up the Jack of Hearts now. We could go Celestial Pack. Probably Jupiter. Now that we have hologram, we are more likely to play flushes rather than flush houses. Spectral Pack. Let's go Spectral Pack first. Could go Ectoplasm, could go Cryptid on this 10. Do we want an extra Jongleur slot? Or are we good? I think I'm gonna sell the Luchador, and I think I actually don't need an extra Joker slot, but I could go Aura on an 8. Holographic is fine. Priestess, Saturn, Neptune, nope. Okay, looking Ace. Plutonium, Swashbuckler, nope. I'll take an 8-ball. Alright. All my spades are debuffed. I might be able to win without selling the Luchador, but I'm going to sell the Luchador anyway, so I could get purple seal value here. I don't need to play the 10s, so I won't. I can try to get another 8 or 3. Sure. Because I have Justice, I can't lose here. I'm just trying to dig for the 8. Make a glass 3. And then ship it. Smash. See, the flush, even with the hologram and the magic trick, the flush house is not impossible. We take a photograph, though we are running out of face cards. Boss says clubs are debuffed, that's okay. Tarot Merchant is great, my favorite. Okay, there's a fancy King of Spades. Take a hermit for the money. No flush house here, but we can take a Jupiter card. Level 15 flush, level 5 flush house. Level 5 flush house is bigger. Okay. Take a queen. Could take Senor Huesos. That could be good for the final boss. Alright, go next. So we can do a normie flush if you want. Something like that. What's next? Spin the wheel. Now I'm gonna, if I want lucky cards, I gotta actually make lucky cards. Let's pick up series. I don't need Smeared Joker. We've evolved past that point. Spin the wheel again. Foiled. Nice. Alright, times 3 on the hologram. 3 and 2, we can hang them. 4 and 2 as lucky cards. Emperor. Okay. Lovers, probably we don't need. Let's play the flush. Actually, since we have the blue seal, we probably should go for the flush house. So throw away this flush. All I gotta do is get an 8 or a 5. So there's the 8s and the 5s with the flush house. And we got the red seal to re-trigger Fibonacci, also re-trigger the foil. Cool. Pool for series is pretty good. Moon, Lovers, World. Do I need another world? We don't need it. We don't need to get isekai'd. We can use Fool for series or 13 bucks or make a glass card. I think I'd take the series card. Okay, now my flush house is pretty good even without glass. Go one more. Okay. Can make glass cards anyway. Take a hungman. Let's go next. So 9 and Jack. We can hang them. Blue seal in hand. Let's dig for 8s and 5s. 8s and 5s. That's it. All right. 8 or a 5. Getting kind of sketchy. Worst case scenario, I end up playing one of the blue seals. One more time. There we go. Glass 5 or 8. If I go to the deck here, I've got 6 8s. I have more 5s, so I should make a glass 5. And then ship it. Okay. Plant Merchant, no. Justice, maybe. Take another series card. Now level 13 flush houses. This boss, force a card to be selected. That could be kind of stinky trying to go for the flush house, but the flush is still perfectly viable. We can make a gold 8. Plus money, we can make a steel 8. Justice. Empress. Maybe Blackboard. Blackboard seems very reasonable. Sure. Got so many spades. Alright, go next. Have I just not found any cards in the past couple shops with the hologram? I mean, that makes sense. It's like slightly surprising though. Okay. Let's go 7s and 8s. 8s and 7s. Alright, I want any 5 or 8 or 7. Okay. I can make glass 7, I can make a glass 5. I will play the 8s and the 7s. Maybe the 7 breaks. Cool. Celestial Pack. Series. Oh, now my most played hand. We have the telescope. My most played hand is high card. That makes sense. Disappointing, but makes sense. Mail-in rebate I could do instead of the blackboard. Take a death card. Take a gold card, maybe? Okay, death is pretty useful against this boss. Maybe I just keep it. Keep the death card. I can make a gold 5 again. I can do 5s and 7s. 7s and 5s. I can try to dig for the blue seal. I don't think it's going to matter too much. I might not need all of these glass cards. I could just play a flush. Okay. What's the idol doing? 7 of spades? We could do 7 of spades, probably, instead of a blackboard. Nah. Take a 10. Want another justice card. Invisible Joker. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Spades. Nice. I can make a glass. I can make a red glass card. Nice. Then the wheel again. Beautiful. Okay. I could go one more because I got the credit card. I could go one more. No, I take the 4 and then that's it. Okay. So one thing we could do is we could just run out this flush, I guess. I guess that's not very exciting. I could copy the 5. I could throw away the 5. That feels bad. I can copy the 8. That makes sense. Sure. Do the 8s and the 7s and copy the hologram, and that's it. The flush would have won already, but I wanted to play the flush house. Okay. And that's my deck. That's the Bazaar deck. So, Bazaar deck, start with 3 vouchers. Start with clearance sale, magic trick, hone. Clearance sale makes stuff cheaper, especially in the early game. Booster packs are cheaper, the jokers are cheaper, so it's a little bit easier to get the ball rolling a little bit. Hone makes it so that we get more additions. I think in this round we ended up with a ton of foil cards. When you get the additions in the shop, it does make the jokers a little bit more expensive, and then the clearance sale helps offset that. So when you do get holographic cards, when you do get foil cards, it doesn't break the bank to take those. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to say that the magic trick is good. I don't think it's useful most of the time, but I think it's not that bad. I think what we saw in this run is, if we count, you know, we could go to the hologram here. Okay, the hologram says it's 0.25 per card, which means we picked up 10 cards. Some of those came from the shop, some of those came from standard packs. Before we picked up the hologram, there weren't really that many cards in the shop. And then so like with the magic trick, there's really not that many cards in the shop. It's really not that bad. And certain builds, you maybe actually want to take cards from the shop. So if you're on flushes, for example, here we can just take random spades. It doesn't give us any more power in our deck. It doesn't give us cards that are compatible with Fibonacci, but for the purposes of blackboard, maybe it's worth it to take just spades straight up for blackboard. And then just being able to make your flushes more consistently, being able to play multiple flushes per round. Here we ended up with 60 cards. If I didn't have the hologram, I probably wouldn't have taken as many cards, but we were able to pick up at least one 8 of spades, at least one 5 of spades. There is the possibility you get not just the magic trick, but you get the illusion. And so one of the fun things about starting with 3 vouchers is you have the opportunity to get the tier 2 vouchers. So you could get the upgraded clearance sale, you could get the upgraded glow up. Upgraded hone is glow up is what we got. You could get the upgraded illusion, and then that makes an interesting run if you start out with a tier 2 voucher early on. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Take care, everyone.